Shri Krishna Vagishayati Shvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankarna Bhashyasaram Shri Nutnarangendra Yatau Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryam Guravaryamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Shatatara Krutodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamaham bhaje Krishna Suritaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Shrimad Venkatanathāryam Vandeham Yogadeshikam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
So, welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. Just a quick word before we start. Michael, Helen and myself represent an organisation called the Society for Yoga Practitioners, set up back in 2012 to represent the teachings of Sri Krishnamacharya and TKV Desikachar in the UK. So at the end of the session today, if you want, and Michael's going around with a few things, there's just a bit of information there about the different trainings we run, what we do. Helen and I run regular retreats to India for trainings out there. So just a little bit about the organisation. So when you're ready, arise. So Helen is going to very kindly do the demonstration for me this morning, and then we'll talk you through everything we do. It might sound like stating the obvious, but please, if something is offered that doesn't suit you, don't feel compelled to do it. We will always give alternatives. Michael's going to be floating around while we're teaching, and he can help people out. Okay, so be comfortable, breathe, and enjoy the sound. So the first sequence you were going to take this morning, you'll start with the hands on the chest. Then breathing in, take the arms wide, palms forward. Like this. And then with the chant, Jyotiraham. And then you're going to breathe in again at the top. And then as you breathe out and side release the arms, Jyotiraham. And come back round again. Okay, so we'll do that a number of times. So let the hands rest lightly on the chest. As you breathe in, just allow the body to open. And then as you bring the hands together above the head, Jyotiraham. Breathe in there as comfortably as you can. And as you let the arms come back down by the side, Jyotiraham, and back to the chest again. So we'll just take that a few more times. Breathing in, let the body open. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body lengthen. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body open. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body lengthen. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body open. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body lengthen. Jyotiraham. And now, for a moment, allow the hands to rest on the chest and just feel a sense of light in any way that is comfortable to you. A light within you. And then when you're ready, you can release the hands and let the eyes come open. So this time, starting with the hands on the chest again, as you breathe in the first time, let the arms come wide. This time, you're going to chant as you fold forward, arms onto the back. Jyotiraham. And at that point, really let go. Then you're going to breathe in, slightly lift the chest and let the arms come out to the side. And then from here, we'll chant and release all the way down. Jyotiraham. Then you're going to breathe in, come up, lift the chest, arms wide at shoulder height, and chant one more time as the hands come back onto the chest. Jyotiraham. Okay. So when you're ready, breathe in, let the body open. Jyotiraham. And really relax, let go for a moment. Now as you breathe in, slight lift of the chest, arms out to the side. And again, chant and release. Jyotiraham. As you breathe in now, lift the chest first, let the arms come all the way up by the side. And as the hands come back onto the chest, Jyotiraham. As long as you're comfortable, we'll keep that going. Breathe in, let the body open. Jyotiraham. Arms wide, lift the chest as you breathe in. Jyotiraham. Lift the chest, side arms, breathe in all the way to the top. And hands to the chest. Jyotiraham. Breathe in and let the body open in your own time. Jyotiraham. Breathe in, lift the chest, side arms. And as you release down, Jyotiraham. Lifting all the way to the top. Hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Take that 2 more times. Breathe in wide. Jyotiraham. Breathe in, lift the chest, arms wide. Jyotiraham. Breathe in, lift the chest, side arms all the way to the top. And to the chest. Jyotiraham. more time. Breathe in wide. Jyotiraham. Lift the chest side arms. Jyotiraham. Lifting chest first, side arms to the top. And hands back to the chest again. Jyotiraham. And for a moment, let the hands rest on the chest, feeling that light within. And again, in your own time, releasing the hands, letting the eyes come open. So we're going to take a warrior sequence next. So we'll start with the left foot forward. Again, you'll begin with the hands on the chest. So if you just watch Helen do this. So we're going to start by breathing in, wide arms, shoulder height again as the knee bends. And then as we chant, round to the right hand side, Jyotiraham. Then we slowly inhale back round to the front, opening even further. And as we come back, hands onto the chest, Jyotiraham. I am light, which we are. So, be light. Hands on the chest. Breathe in and let the body open. Round to the right hand side. Jyotiraham. Now as slowly as you can, breathing in back round to the front. Keeping that knee bent nice and strong. And as you bring the hands back to the chest, Jyotiraham. Beautiful. 4 more times. Breathe in. And round to the right. Jyotiraham. Slowly breathe in again to the front. And hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Breathing in again when you're ready. Just be comfortable, work in your own time. Round to the right. Jyotiraham. Into the front. Hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Again, one more time. Breathing in. And round to the right. Jyotiraham. Breathe in again, come round. Hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. And just take a moment with the hands on the chest to feel or connect in your own way with that light. And then when you're ready, release the arms, come back to Samastiti. Just for a moment. And then we'll take exactly the same sequence, leading with the right leg. So working from the other side, same thing. Right leg forward, hands on the chest to begin with. And as you breathe in, open the front of the body, letting the knee bend as the arms come wide. And this time round to the left-hand side. Jyotiraham. Slowly inhaling round to the front, keeping the knee bent nice and strong. Hands to the chest. Jyotiraham. Good. Again in your own time. Breathe in. Jyotiraham. In slowly to the front. Jyotiraham. Breathing in again. Jyotiraham. Into the front. Jyotiraham. Breathing in again. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Just one more time, please. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Jyotiraham. Pause for a moment, connecting with your light. And again, when you're ready, releasing the hands, allowing yourself to step back. Now, what we're going to take next is a sort of wide-legged part squat, part forward bend. So the amount you decide to squat is not so much up to you, it's up to your knees. So please respect your knees, don't make them do things they don't like. So hands on the chest to begin with. So breathing in that same beautiful opening of the upper body. And as you start to chant, as if you're sitting on a chair that isn't there, Jyotiraham, and release the hands and release the upper body down when you've finished. Now, as you start to breathe in, keep the lower body as it is, lift and open the upper body first, then straighten the legs to the top. Breathe in, come up, 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 up. And as the hands come back to the chest, Jyotiraham. Is that okay? So you make it as strong or not strong as you want it to be, yeah? So when you're ready, breathing in, letting the upper body open, sitting down, Jyotiraham, and then let go. Release everything to the earth. As you breathe in, lift the chest first, let the arms come wide, then straighten the legs up to the top, and hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Beautiful. Again in your own time. Breathe in. Be as wide as you can. Jyotiraham. Breathe in, move the upper body first, and up, hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Beautiful. Again in your own time. Sitting down. Jyotiraham. Now keep those legs in exactly that position. Breathe in, let the upper body move first, then the legs come up under you. And hands back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Again, breathing in. Jyotiraham. Keep the legs bent, lift the upper body, come up, then the legs come through. Jyotiraham. Now, as I can see you're enjoying this so much, we're going to do a couple of extra ones of this because I can see you're all enjoying it. So breathing in again when you're ready. You'll thank me one day, if not today. Jyotiraham. Breathe in as if you can breathe in forever. Coming up. Jyotiraham. Just one more time. Make it a good one. Jyotiraham. Jyotiraham. Now as you stand, feel the light under the hand, but feel the strength in your body. The body that carries the light. The body is the vehicle for the light in this lifetime. So we should take care of the body, but remember the body is just a vehicle. The light is what is important. Okay, and then you can release your hands and just sit or kneel for a moment while Helen shows you the next sequence. So, if you can comfortably sit back on your heels as Helen is doing, as my friends at the back are so nicely demonstrating for us, you can start from there. If the knees are a little bit squeaky creaky, as we say in the trade, you start from here and then it's just a little bit easier. Yeah? Okay? So, you breathe in, hands on the chest to begin with, and let the body open one more time. And then coming forward into a kneeling forward bend. Jyotiraham. Then as you breathe in into Cobra, breathe in, bend the elbows, and then back from here. Jyotiraham. Breathe in, lift up. And hands back onto the chest. Jyotiraham. So this is why I said you can modify this, make it comfortable for you. There might be some bits of it. It's a bit like a buffet. You do the bits you like and miss the other bits out, yeah? Okay? Yes. Absolutely, yeah. It's good for her. Please, Helen, have your morning exercise. So breathing in, up you come. Jyotiraham. Breathing in, bring the body through. Just be there for a minute, very strong. See how far back the hands are. Proper Bhujangasana, not leaning on the hands. It's all about the back. Going back. Jyotiraham. Breathing in, lift up. Jyotiraham. We've got about another 20 minutes, so you'll get the hang of it after 20 minutes, I promise you. If you're not sure now, you'll know it by the end. Is that all right? Yeah, they'll be fine. They're strong, look at them. They're raring to go. Sunday morning they're here. Yeah. Yeah. You modify. This is why I say you come forward as far as is comfortable for you. Obviously, for my friend at the back there, the cobra, forget it. You do the rest of the sequence, just miss that out. Is that okay? Right. Off we go. So, if you're happy seated kneeling, fine, or you start from raised kneeling. Hands on the chest. Breathing in, come up and allow yourself to open. And as you come forward into your kneeling forward bend, Jyoti Raham. Now breathe in and let yourself come as far forward as is comfortable. Beautiful. And as you go back into that kneeling forward bend, Jyoti Raham. Breathe in, come up. And hands back onto the chest. Jyoti Raham. Fantastic. Let's do it again. Breathing in. Jyoti Raham. Breathe in and come forward. Beautiful. And all the way back. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in, coming up. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in, coming up. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in, coming forward. And back. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in, coming up when you're ready. Hands back to the chest. Jyoti Raham. And again, if you need to stop, you stop. If you can keep going, stay with us. Breathing in. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in forward. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in, coming up. Jyoti Raham. One more time, please. Jyoti Raham. Breathing in forward. Jyoti Raham. Breathe in, come up. And come back. Jyoti Raham. Let the eyes close, keep the hands on the chest, and if you can, just softly take that chant internally a few times. Jyoti Raham. Jyoti Raham. Being with your light. Okay, and then when you're ready, let the eyes come open. Now, I want you to stay kind of seated for a moment if you can. Helen's going to show you something called the Avahanam sequence. Traditionally, this is part of a prayer sequence, as some of you might know, but it's also very good for everything from your fingertips to your shoulders. Okay? So you start from Namaste, prayer position, breathing in, let the hands come forward and open. Because we're going to receive something really special. Then as you take the chant, so could you see what Helen was doing? So from open, you bring the backs of the hands together, keep the backs of the wrists together to the heart, down into the body, and then you say thank you. All of that in that one little gesture. It's rather beautiful. Shall we try? So from Namaste, breathe in, let the hands come forward and open to receive. As you take the chant, bring the backs of the hands together and fingers towards. Down into the body and round and back. Brilliant. Let's keep going. Breathe in, forward and open. Jyotiraham. Beautiful. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. See if you can do it with your eyes closed. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Just one more time. Jyotiraham. And just stay there for a moment, giving thanks for that light, that which brings all our life, all our energy. Every function, every action is dependent on this light. This light is our life. And then if you could do to be better with them as well, just in case I've demonstrated like that as well. So do that, then that, and then. Okay. So when you're ready, Helen's now going to demonstrate the next sequence. We're going to give 3 alternatives now, just loosely the same, but just to make sure everyone's hopefully comfortable. So the first of these, the hands are back behind you. Now you'll notice Helen's hands are facing in towards her. If that doesn't suit your wrists or shoulders, so the hands are like this, they can be out to the side, back like that. What matters is you're comfortable, okay? So that's the first thing. And then elevate. Breathe in. And then coming back down. Jyotiraham. Just one more of those, please, Helen. Jyotiraham. Now, if you want a similar movement with less weight on the wrists and shoulders, you can keep your ballast, as we call it on the trade, on the mat, and you just work with the upper body. As you breathe in, you lift the chest up, come back, and Jyotiraham as an alternative. So you can do some of the first one and then change to this, or if you prefer, you stay with this, okay, so that you have an alternative. Yes, that's the other thing. If you have concerns about the neck, it's best to keep what we call the chin on the neck, because this thing is heavy, very heavy. And if we just go, then maybe we'll be stuck like that for the rest of the day, and I'll have RAM on my case. So please, be careful with your head, look after your neck, okay? Down there. No. They're happy. They're happy. Sit, sit, sit. They're good. So, whichever one of those two suits you, try. If you want some help or assistance, if this is something you're not familiar with, let us know and we'll come and help you out. So remember, if that hand position doesn't suit your wrists, just move them until it is comfortable, because it's your body. You're in there. So, breathe in and let the hips lift up to the heavens. And as you come back down, Jyotiraham. Fantastic. Again, in your own time, breathe in. Jyotiraham. Breathing in again. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Just one more for luck, because you're doing so well. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, if we're not used to this sort of work, it can feel quite, but actually, occasionally, a little bit of this is very good for us. Very, very good. Doesn't matter quite so much for my young friends here, because they've got time on their side. But when you get to my age, the vehicle starts to get what we call in the trade squeaky and creaky. And so you have to take more care of it and keep everything moving, because the bits you don't use might drop off one day on the journey. So you have to keep using them and keep them oiled. So, madam, please. So we're going to come back, possibly now if this suits you, to a kneeling sequence again. Vajrasana, kneeling forward bend, but slightly different. So breathing in, coming up and opening. And this time the arms come onto the back. Jyotiraham. But as you come up, you must lift the head and shoulders first. Breathing in, because we don't want you nose diving, and then back to the chest. Jyotiraham. Okay, it's okay for everybody? Remember, you can start from raised kneeling if that's better. That's fine. Okay? Excuse me. Sorry. So breathing in, letting the body open, letting that light come up, and as you chant, taking the hips back, Jyotiraham. Beautiful. Soften. When you're ready, lift the head and shoulders first, come up, release the arms, breathe in, hands back to the chest, Jyotiraham. And again, in your own time, breathing in. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Again, in your own time. Jyotiraham. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Just once more. Breathing in. Jyotiraham. Jyotiraham. Soften the eyes. And once again, for a moment, be with that light. That source of your life, your energy. Thank you. I'm going to hand over now to Michael, who's going to continue the session for us. Thank you.
This at the moment is going to go up my nose so you can hear how I'm breathing. Can you hear me? It feels rather strange to have it here. There must be something I haven't got quite right. No, it's just it's up my nose so you can hear my gnarly shoulder now. So let's keep moving or keep breathing is the thing now. First thing is that I want you all to be sitting as comfortable as possible so that you can focus on the breath. Now, we brought some extra blocks here and there's a bag there by the chairs. If you think you need anything extra under here to help you to sit comfortably, then please grab. Yes, if you... Oh, yeah, thanks for coming. So, when you're settled, I'd like to ask how many of you know the pranayama technique called Ujjayi? How many know Ujjayi? Okay. So, when I refer to Ujjayi, I'm talking about being able to make a soft sound in here on the in-breath. Is that true? Can you do that? Show hand if you if you feel comfortable with that. Okay. So some of you here may be teachers, so I'm going to share with you how I teach Ujjayi in the first place. And you know, when you need to mist a mirror to polish it, okay, then you open the mouth but close the throat. When you hear me do that. So when we do that, we learn that as children, And so what I then teach is for people to continue to do that, but progressively close the mouth. Until you're making the same sound in the throat, but with the mouth closed. And that's how I get people started with Ujjayi. And then at some point when they're really comfortable with that sound on the exhale, I say, oh, by the way, actually you're supposed to do it on the in-breath. I didn't tell them that to start off with, otherwise I'd never keep any students. But the idea is that, and it very much fits in with our theme today, this idea that when you want to experience Ujjayi on the inhale, just think, well, if you turn the breath around very smoothly, which is what I want you to do anyway, so that the out-breath turns seamlessly, into the in-breath, but you keep everything here the same, then that sound will reappear as the breath starts to flow in. Okay? So even if you're familiar with Ujjayi, or if you're okay on the out-breath, but you think you're going to be okay on the in-breath, okay, I'd like you just to try that now. So just the 6 breaths, please, sitting comfortably, eyes closed or gaze very low, so you're feeling you're within your own safe space. Just 6 breaths now, please. And this soft sound I'm hearing from all of you is a reminder that, I'm missing my cup of tea this morning. It's just that sound that when you just start to hear a sound from the kettle before it gets too loud. And so you become able to keep the soft sound in the throat as you very smoothly turn the breath around from flowing out to flowing back in. And those of you, when you gain experience with the Ujjayi, something else can happen. Open your eyes slowly and breathe freely, if you will. Just let your breath settle. And thank your breath for joining in that little game, because I regard pranayama as games and exercises that we play with the breath, and things like I was teaching yesterday and again today about inwardly repeating mantra as you breathe in or breathe out. This is something you'd imagine that you and your breath are doing together. Okay? So all the time we're cooperating with the breath. So anybody for the first time experience comfortably the sound on the in-breath? Any new ones? Thank you. Any hesitant ones? It's just always allow hesitancy in our practice and realize that we can't jump into something straight away. But to share with you something for those of you who are experienced with Ujjayi on the inhale, or I hope will go on to gain that experience, is it becomes possible to practice a meditation that Patanjali calls meditation on the kurma nadi, which is, kurma means tortoise, and Nadi means a channel. So the tortoise is the breastbone. Okay, it's like the shell covering the heart. And with our Ujjayi inhale, we want to experience a sensation. Sri Desikachar said that we must always look to acutely sense and feel the movement of the breath within. So I invite you to repeat that and to think that, well, you could possibly experience the feeling of the breath flowing in from the throat to the heart. A slight resonance from the throat to the heart and then further in. Just 6 breaths. That's all. Close the eyes or have the gaze very low. Feel safe and quiet in your own space. Thank you, Andy. Remember that soft turn around from out breath to in breath, maintaining the same soft closure in the throat that creates for us this gentle sound. And after your next out breath, go to completely free breathing. Experience the breath working in its own way for a breath or two. And then slowly open the eyes. So, Ujjayi is something that we can use in movement, and Ujjayi is also a warming practice. Okay, so that's why I thought, well, yes, that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. So, are there any questions at this moment? Yes, please. I use it a lot in my own practice. I did for many years, because the focus here of flowing down the inside of the breastbone is very steadying. Okay, I'm someone who's rather prone to anxiety. This is why I've learned to do so much work with the breath. And to complete the sutra, Patanjali says, Kurma Nadyam Stairyam. So this focus on the steady inflow of the breath down through the heart area is very steadying, mentally and emotionally. And also Ujjayi, according to the Hartyogadipika, can be used in all sorts of situations. So if you want to work on lengthening your breath in asana so you can move more slowly and smoothly, yet still work within the length of the breath. 3 days Gachar taught us that. In fact, let's do this in a moment. Being more conscious of the breath with Ujjayi. Helen, would you please demonstrate again? Just want you to take a simple movement on the hands and knees. I'll better stay away from the speaker so I don't get any feedback. So, Helen, will you just, so sort of standing on the hands and knees at the moment when she breathes in, there's opportunity for, with Ujjayi, there's opportunity for the heart area to open, which is another benefit. And then the Ujjayi exhale, just taking the seat back, lifting the stomach into the spine and looking towards the knees. And then breathing in, inviting the breath with Ujjayi inhale down from the throat to the heart to encourage the forward opening of the heart area with the in-breath. And then breathing out, looking towards the knees and physically closing the throat, but still making that soft sound. Okay. So would you all like to try that now? Thanks, Helen, for the demonstration. So, and this just to illustrate the benefits of Ujjayi, both in helping you to focus on opening the heart area with the in-breath, and also to lengthen the breath. Now, I'll let you start and just take that a few times to get used to the idea of Ujjayi movement. So take a breath into the heart area while you're standing on the hands and knees. And then as you start to breathe out, look towards the knees. Ask the stomach to lift in towards the spine and ease the seat towards the heels to release the lower back, but particularly. And then when it's time to breathe in, think about wanting to breathe in down through the heart, open that area with the Ujjayi in-breath, and then you'll be ready to move back again. If this doesn't suit you, you can just sit comfortably and continue to work with the Ujjayi in a seated position. If you're going to do that, which we'll all do in a moment, just place the hands on the heart. Now you've got moving, I'd like to introduce the idea that you start the exhale, then you start the movement, and then you see, with the help of Ujjayi, the out-breath will continue beyond the movement while the body is still for a moment. And while the body's still, you turn the breath around smoothly from out to in, and the breath initiates the opening forward movement. Bless you. And then when you come to your forward position, standing on the hands and the knees, you see if the breath will find a way to continue inwards a little bit more. So you're working with the movement taking place entirely within the length of the breath. And there's this moment of stillness in each position that you reach while you smoothly turn the breath around from in to out or from out to in. Just take that twice more, please, if comfortable. And then, after your next out-breath movement, please sit up comfortably. So that's the idea of breath longer than movement. You start the breath, then you start the movement. The movement continues, and then the breath continues a little bit past the movement. Now, is someone going to ask me the benefit of that? Okay. Big benefit here. similar benefit to working with mantra. Very hard to do that on autopilot. I've been trying that for 30 years and I have not succeeded in being able to work with breath longer than movement automatically. I have to keep my attention in what I'm doing, and if I keep my attention in what I'm doing, so there's body, breath and attention, what are we calling that? Begins with Y. Yoga, yes. Okay, yoga. Every body, breath and attention all together, no, the mind not going off on its own thing. So, how can we use Ujjayi, particularly Ujjayi inhale, so helpfully in our pranayama practice? Well, something that I practice a lot is 3 days gachar called Ujjayi Anuloma, which is, sorry, I have to move this away from my nose. Okay, so if we have a hand mudra in which we can use 4 nostril control, one way of practicing is that, can you hear me? Is this working? Yeah, there we go. So is I would place the mudra on the heart and ask to feel the breath in the Kormanardi. And then exhale, feeling the flow of the breath in the left nostril. And then place the hand back to the heart, again Ujjayi, and then focus on the breath, the flow of the breath out through the right nostril. And then I do, so 12 rounds of that. Okay? That'd be my pranayama practice. And that was very helpful for practice for me for a very long time. So if I can recap that for you, if you'd like to try that now. So Ujjayi inhale with the hand on the heart, briefly keeping the breath in, lift the hand up to the nose if you want to use nostril control. Gently close the right nostril, feel the flow of breath out slowly through the left. And it's time to breathe in. You turn the hand to the heart. Inhale with Ujjayi. Time to breathe out. Hand back up to the nose if you like to do that. Close the left. Feel the flow out through the right. That's 1 round. Okay? And if you're happy doing that, please continue for another 5 rounds. Of course, you can keep the hand on the heart all the time and just think about the flow out through the left, and then on the next out breath, just think about the flow out through the right. And as I explained yesterday, awareness of the flow is what alternate nostril breathing is about. Not about how we put the hand on the nose. any time and return to the simple Ujjayi inhale and exhale, feeling the breath flowing on the axis of the body. If you're working well in the Ujjayi Anuloma, please continue for one more round. And please always complete a pranayama practice by just focusing on the free movement of the breath. And then if you'd like to, if you're still working on Anuloma Ujjayi, please finish this round. Take some free breaths. Those of you who've taken some free breaths, welcome to slowly open the eyes. So Helen, you look like do you want to take over? Because I haven't actually got round to putting any mantra with this. But the obvious thing now to add to that is that as you inhale with Ujjayi, hand on the heart, you will inwardly repeat, tell me, what have we been chanting this morning? Oh, Jyotiraham. Okay, so you inwardly repeat Jyotiraham, which means I am the inner light. So, and repeat on your in-breath, Jyotiraham. Okay, so have I got time for them just to do that a few times? Okay, so return please to just simple Ujjayi, inhale and exhale. Inwardly repeat Jyotiraham on both inhale and, if you wish, on exhale. And then please just sit quietly for a moment, free in-breaths, and the sun is coming out. I'd just like you to imagine that with each breath that comes in, what comes in with it is a little touch of sunlight. Just continue in quiet sitting, if you can, for a few more breaths, being aware of the shining of the sun outside, and with each in-breath, imagine the little touch of sunlight comes in with that breath. Just feel that if you can continue that, these little touches of sunlight gradually build up to a little inner glow. And when we start to become actually aware of the light within, it's that slight inner glow, this first thing quite often that we become aware of. Thank you. Open the eyes when you're ready. Do I have a question? Are you all happy? I shared with you little bits today. We haven't sort of big, long 20-minute pranayama practice, because I wanted to share with you lots of hints and tips about things that you can put into your pranayama practice so that it really works for you in terms of quietness and stillness, feeling of inner peace, emotional and mental stillness and stability. Thank you. Helen?
Is this working? Yeah. Can you hear me at the back? Yes? Good. Good. So what we've been trying to give you today is a bit of a flavour of how in our tradition you might take what we call an integrated practice. So we have a particular theme and we can combine all of the tools of yoga, link them, connect them with that theme in order to really absorb the idea, the concept, or whatever that theme might be. So working it through the asana, through the pranayama, some mantra, and then moving into meditation, which is what we're going to be doing now. So the theme of the festival this weekend is well-being. And of course, we all aim for physical and mental well-being. In order, yoga tells us, then to have some space to connect with this inner light, this something beyond, this something very deep. So likewise, if we can maintain some connection with that inner light, that too then supports our physical and mental well-being. So it becomes like a benign circle. The more we can keep that connection, the more well-being we experience. So we're going to come back now to the mantra which we took, Jyotiraham. Jyoti, light, aham, I am. So I am, remembering that we are not just the body, we are not just the mind, we are something more, something deeper. So I'm going to work with you, teach you two more parts of the same mantra that little section is taken from. It's taken from a much longer mantra. So if you'd like to come up to your feet, we're going to take some gestures to start with that. I'll teach you the other two lines. So as you did before, you know the first part, so we'll do that first. Some part you feel confident with. So you're going to breathe in, take the arms up and out, and then chant Jyotiraham. One more time. Jyotiraham. Great. So the next little section is Viraja Vipapma. Viraja Vipapma. Undisturbed and faultless is effectively what that means. So this inner light, this part of me, is unchanging, always. So you're going to take this gesture. I'll show you first, and then you can join in and do it with me a couple of times. Viraja vipapma. Breathe in, bring the hands away. Viraja vipapma. Just take the hands to the heart in the pause. Breathe in, take the hands away. Viraja vipapma. Great, you're good at this. So the last part is bhuyasam. Bhuyasam. Let it be so. Let it be so. Okay, and for that you're going to take this gesture. I'll show you first, and then you can do it with me a couple of times. So you're going to breathe in and bring the hands to a namaste. Bhuyasam. So from here, breathe in, bring the hands to prayer position. Bhuyasam. Okay, again, breathe in, bring the hands to prayer position. Bhuyasam. So we're going to take all those three now together. First we'll do it standing up, then we'll sit down and take it. So starting from here. Viraja. Sorry. You all followed me and I was completely wrong. Okay. Let's try again. Inhale. Jyotiraham. Viraja vipapma. Bhuyasam. Jyotiraham. Viraja vipapma. Bhuyasam. Okay, come to your comfortable seated position now, and we'll take that a couple more times very softly. So again. Jyotiraham. Viraja vipapma. Bhuyasam. Jyotiraham. Viraja vipapma. Bhuyasam. And just release the hands. So we're going to chant those three lines softly one more time. Inhale. Jyoti So I'd like you now just to focus your attention on that heart area. Visualize the inner light within. And as you do so, I will softly chant for you the whole mantra from which this is taken, a health mantra. Samana me shutyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Chakshusrotra jihva ghanareto buddhyakuti sankalpame shuddhyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Shirah pani pada parshva prashtodara janga shishno pastapaya vome shutyantam jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Tvakdharmamagam sarodhiramedosthimajjami shuddhyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandhame shuddhyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Prathivyaptejo vaivakashame shuddhyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Annamaya pranamaya manomaya vijnanamaya nandamaya shuddhyantan jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sarga svaha. Vivikyai svaha. Gashotkaya svaha. Pingalakshi Dehi Dehi Dadapayatami Shuddhantan Jyotiraham Nirajavipapma Bhuya Satyasvaha Om Swaha. So I'd like you now, please, very carefully to bring your hands once more to your heart area. And we're going to complete the meditation and the practice by offering that light now back out to the world. So we're going to breathe in with the hands on the heart, and as we chant, we take the hands away, offering out to the world. Jyotiraham. Twice more, same line. Jyotiraham. Jyotiraham. Just release the hands. And carefully, in your own time now, bring yourself back. Connect with your surroundings. Release your posture if you wish, and take whatever stretch or movement gives you comfort or release. Thank you so much. Lovely sounds you made. Does anyone have any questions about the chant or the practice? Okay, the full chant is from the Taittiriya Upanishad, the 4th chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad, very significant Upanishad for yoga practitioners. And it goes through basically every aspect of the human system, from the grossest level, every single part of your body, including your internal body, your bones, your bone marrow, your fat, your skin, every part of your body. Then also through to the Panchamayas, you might have heard in there, the Panchavayus. So it goes through the Panchabhutas. It goes through all parts of the system, asking that they may be cleansed, Shuddhyantam, cleansed, and then that we can connect with this inner light. So, yeah, really, really valuable and important health mantra. The mantra is not on the website. It's in we have chant books that we work from, so it's in our chant books. But if you want to contact me or one of the other teachers, I can email you a copy. So my card is here. So if you want to, and I do teach Vedic chanting as well by Skype for those who are further away. So you can learn. Okay.
Certainly a possibility to learn from one of us through Skype.
Do you want your headset? Here, you can take this one.
How's that? Is that doing anything, something now? Again, it's just trying to go up my nose. It's trying to tell me something. Right, so I feel so peaceful after all that I've forgotten what I was going to talk about today. So, you have any more questions for Helen? Or for us? Okay. So, excuse me looking at my notes. So, what I want to talk about today is faith and courage and persistence. And those of you here yesterday will recall that I briefly spoke about the story of the young lad Nachiketas thousands of years ago, described in the Katha Upanishad, and how he was sent to the abode of death and how death advised him on his path in life. And we talked about the distinction between the path of pleasure and the path of purpose as two different paths that we can take in life. And it's come to me that the difference between these two paths is really one of faith. Do we put our trust in material things? Do we put our trust in seeking for sensual pleasures and for more stuff to bring us happiness, or should we look elsewhere? I'm going to look now to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and so I'll just repeat a little chant in honor of Patanjali. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abaho Purushakaram Shankachakra Siddharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. So, implication when Patanjali talks about the yamas is the pursuit of sensual pleasure will drain our energies. Because he says that restraint will build them up. It's hard when you're young, and some of you here are a lot younger than me, not to spend your bountiful energy, which of course I'm now in a position to envy, to spend your bountiful energy on sensual pleasures. But Mr. Iyengar said that there's a point to the traditional restraints that older people try to put on, for example, young people's sexual energies. Because it was a wise attempt to help young people to conserve energy levels they did not realize that they might not experience again. And to direct some, at least, of those youthful energies to paths of learning skills and finding purpose in life. And then if we look at Patanjali's next sutra, after he talks about brahmacharya, we can see how later in life we're not free of sin, because we can become then caught up in the anxious accumulation of material possessions. So we must be very careful when we're old, lecturing to the young. And this is another distraction from our purpose here, which, as we keep hinting here, as Sri Swami Sarvapriyananda was telling us yesterday and Friday, to discover who we really are and what this present life means for us. What is meaning and purpose? I think I said yesterday that before I spoke that we have a practice of asana, pranayama, mantra, to bring us into a state of calmness and well-being with the body, the breath and the mind. But something that we can suffer from even as we get older is vanity. We can become vain about having a yoga body. Can even become vain, I have to be careful not to be vain about the fact that my breathing capacity is that of a much younger man. All these things are these things to do with the body and not to be preoccupied. So Patanjali says in the next sutra we must avoid preoccupation even with our own bodies and those of others. And keeping a clean, a neat and non-distracting appearance will help us to maintain a mental state of sattva. Some of you here know about the 3 gunas, and the chant that Helen just did so beautifully for us. It says one of the things is viraja. There's the other guna of rajas, which is to do with activity, but also to do with disturbance. So viraja means let us be undisturbed. Let us, by implication, let us be in this state of sattva, pure, calm and cheerful. That's sliding on to the next sutra. So I just thought in the context of the Katha Upanishad's 2 paths, of pleasure or of purpose. Just sort of add to that what I thought Patanjali had to say on that subject. You see, in the Bhagavad Gita, by Sri Krishna, in chapter 17, Sri Krishna says that we are made of faith. And of course, I think here he is talking about our outer being, this survival self that knows how to cope in the world, but is really only lit up from within, only enlivened by the spirit within. Although it feels, my outer self feels like this is Michael, he's alive, he's doing stuff, but it's actually just the inner spirit that is just experiencing this, like what's called the Antaryamin, the inner watchman. And to go back into pranayama for a moment, Patanjali says our pranayama practice should be paridrishtaha. That is, we should always be watching ourselves breathing. So it's almost like in pranayama practice, you want to get into a state where the practice has been set up and you actually start to become aware as the seer within and have this overview, this paridrishtaha, of the whole, just here is this person practicing pranayama and I'm the light sitting within him or her. So I thought that now we have anybody here been to Swami Ambikananda today? Yesterday. Swami Ambikananda who's here? I have a translation of the Bhagavad Gita by her guru, Sri Swami Venkateshananda. And Venkataji says that in thinking about this issue of faith and who we are, one of the worst things that we can do in terms of bad faith and to build ourselves up on the building blocks of bad faith is to keep measuring ourselves against others, or measuring ourselves against some artificial standard of normality or expectation, either in appearance or behavior or belief. You have to remember that often these things are there to divide us between some people who want to think of themselves as in and others as being out. Okay? Whereas here this weekend, and the beautiful things about this weekend, we are all here in yoga together. So nothing to divide or confuse us. So instead of aiming in life for appearance, for conformity, for sensual pleasure, according to Patanjali, and now I come back to Patanjali again, to having in 241 taken this diversion into the Bhagavad Gita, and now back into Patanjali, 242, contentment, simple contentment. And Patanjali says that if we can just be content with who we are and the way things are, okay, it doesn't mean complacency. It just means that, sometimes I just find there's such joy in just seeing little things. You know the words of William Blake, to see heaven in a wild flower. It's that, I think, that Patanjali was talking about, because in order to not rush by and to really see that wildflower, there must be some kind of inner peace or contentment that we have. And so this opens to us the possibility to experience unsurpassed joy. Unsurpassed joy. What's stopping us? What are we waiting for? Why don't we believe? Well, lack of faith is still really a sort of faith, a sort of persistent negative faith. This is a wrong sort of faith. What you believe in is who you are. And Sri Venkateshananda, and also, have you heard of Marianne Williamson? Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. You heard those words? Nelson Mandela used them in his inaugural speech as President of South Africa. So presumably he'd been reading Marianne sometime maybe while he was in prison on Robben Island, as I was talking about yesterday. As both Swamiji and Marianne have pointed out, one of the worst things that we can do is to believe in our own weakness. We must never believe in that. We must believe in that. We must stop that. I must stop that. We all have weaknesses, but we all have strengths. And I have this little book, Positive Living. Thank you, Helen. Now, see, Patanjali says that as soon as we start to believe, the strength and courage that we need will appear. We will remember what we ought to do, and in that moment of calm, we will receive the guidance that we need to embark on that path of purpose. I'll say that again. We will remember what we ought to do, and in that moment of calm, we will receive the guidance that we need to embark on that path of purpose. So this little book was written many years ago by this very brave lady who was losing her sight. And so she thought she'd put these things down while she still could. And this is actually for tomorrow. This is for when you go out in the world. 22nd day. The day tomorrow is the 22nd. Persistence. Peaceful and relaxed, I sit in my small garden, listening to the birds in the nearby trees, singing praises to the sun. Or so it would seem, which thrills us both on this warm day. How persistent they are in their little efforts to obtain their varied requirements. I marvel at their energy. What pity they cannot know the joy they infuse into our hearts. Their determined to survive convinces me of one valuable and essential quality, that of persistence. It would seem at times that persistence is useless, for circumstances bar the right opportunities. One's efforts seem unjustly thwarted, causing enthusiasm and confidence to flag. Never abandon your ultimate object of obtaining your cherished desire. Throw away diffidence. Refuse to let it take root in your mind, but make room for faith. Faith is a truly wonder-working power. Faith in your conviction and your capabilities will revive and increase in your I don't think she ever read Patanjali. This is wonderful. When you once again find yourself firmly established on the path of determination, persistence will fire your enthusiasm, and you'll be amazed how progressive your outlook becomes. Do not minimize your progress, however small, neither must you minimize the victories already won. Relax in mental sunshine, and let your dominant thought be to walk forward and realize the basis for confidence. So rejoice and let persistence drive you on as never before. However small your part in life's symphony, your part is an essential contribution to the whole. Thank you.